The moral argument for God's existence says that God's nature provides an objective standard of morality against which we can measure our actions, where we can say that some actions are objectively morally wrong and some actions are objectively morally right. The moral argument can be formulated a few different ways, but the simplest and most common form of this argument says, if objective moral values and duties exist, God exists. Objective moral values and duties exist. Therefore, God exists. This argument is saying that if there's any objective moral values or duties, then God must exist as an objective standard in which to ground these values and duties. The second form of this argument that we're going to look at today is a little bit more complex and says, if morality is more than mere preference, then morality has an objective grounding. Morality is more than preference. If morality has an objective grounding, then God exists. Therefore, God exists. This argument is saying that if morality is more than just a matter of opinion, then it's objective. But if it's objective, then there must be an objective grounding for morality, which is God. However, if morality is not objective, then morality just becomes one person's opinion against another person's opinion, and we don't have an objective standard that would allow us to determine if one person's opinion was better or worse than another person's opinion. For example, if there is no objective standard of morality, then if one person decides to hold babies in the NICU and care for them, and another person decides to torture babies just for the fun of it, then without an objective standard, we can't say that one person's behavior is better than the other person's behavior, just that we subjectively prefer one person's behavior of caring for babies over another person's behavior of torturing babies. However, if there are any objective moral values, such as that it's always wrong for someone to torture a baby just for the fun of it, then we need an objective grounding for this objective moral value, which most reasonably can be shown to be God. If God does not exist as an objective standard of morality over and above people's opinions, then morality is completely subjective and there's no such thing as something that is right or wrong for all people in all places at all times. A more in-depth form of the moral argument may look like this argument, which was created by Michael Jones, who runs the Inspiring Philosophy YouTube channel. Morality is a rational enterprise. Moral facts and duties exist. There are too many moral problems and disagreements among humans for moral facts and duties to be grounded in a human source of rationality. Therefore, moral facts and duties must be grounded in a necessary, conscious, rational being. God is what we call a conscious, rational, necessary being, therefore God exists. Jones is saying that objective moral facts and duties exist, which can be discovered rationally. However, there's too many disagreements about morality among people in different cultures for morality to ultimately be grounded in a human source of rationality. Therefore, objective morality must be grounded in an objective source of morality over and above people's opinions and cultures, which must be conscious, rational, and necessary. This definition of the objective standard of morality is consistent with what theists mean by God, who's a conscious, rational, and necessary being that grounds objective morality in his nature over and above people's opinions and cultures. Today we looked at 3 different ways to form the moral argument for God's existence. All 3 of these forms of the moral argument are logically sound and consistent, but one may work better than the others depending on who you're talking to and what questions they may have and which points they agree with or disagree with or specifically want to discuss. The main point of all 3 of these forms of the moral argument is that if there's such a thing as objective moral values and duties, or good and evil, then there must be an objective standard of morality in which to ground these values and duties, which logically can be shown to be God, because these values and duties are grounded in God's nature. Please like and subscribe for more videos that share God's love through apologetics, and remember, Jesus loves you.